Wow. Wow. Literally, there's no argument about this anymore. Like, literally, we shouldn't argue about this anymore. I think the next fight to make is Ilya versus Arman Tsarukyan. I mean, what a dominance, man. Like, Dan Hooker didn't even have one smell of chance. Like, Dan Hooker couldn't do anything. Dominant and very beautiful submission. Even looking at the first round, it was already over before it was over. If you look at Dan Hooker's face, it was just smashed. This just showed you the video I made the other day. The strikers are losing it against the wrestlers lately. I mean, if you're a wrestler, you should have a huge advantage. If you're a wrestler, you will have a very, very big advantage facing any MMA fighter. And not to talk of when you're a wrestler and you know how to strike. That is a big plus for any MMA fighter. If you can wrestle and at the same time you can strike, you just have only yourself to beat when you're fighting MMA. Not to talk of the UFC. And imagine UFC is the biggest of the biggest. When it comes to big company, when it comes to the GOAT of MMA, UFC is the number one. And there you go. Arman just showed you why he was the number one contender to face Islam Makhachev when Islam Makhachev was the champion. But now we have it very, very interesting. Ilia Topuria now, who is currently in Qatar where they just had this fight, I would love to see what he's going to say, because literally there is no argument at the moment now that Ilya, Arman Tsarukyan has gotten your attention. Arman Tsarukyan should be the next for the lightweight belt against Ilia Topuria. And this Ilia Topuria now is calling out Dana White to fight in Spain. I don't know whether Ilia Topuria is asking for a White House, but this is the fight to make. Like, literally, there is no argument. Like, you cannot argue. It's impossible. There is nobody now that could take Arman Tsarukyan's place to face Ilia Topuria. Like, there's literally no argument about this. I mean, if you're looking for a statement win, this is the way to tell people that, yes, this guy is not up to my level. I couldn't remember one time Dan Hooker had a chance of winning this fight. Even from the press conference yesterday up to this moment, there was literally, he won everything. You know that he was hungry, you know that he was angry, and this guy is somebody that have this inner hunger in him. He's a rich guy. He's a guy that doesn't need money, which makes this motivation he has remarkable. Arman Tsarukyan is a guy that doesn't need money. Arman Tsarukyan is one of, if not the richest MMA fighter at the moment. But why is he doing this? Because he wants to become a champion. And this is very deadly for somebody to have. Once you know that you are rich, you have the money, your family has everything, but you still have this determination, you still have this motivation. Because every other rich men, they are doing something else. But this guy is constantly motivated. He wants to become a fighter. He wants to become an MMA fighter. And he wants to become an MMA champion. And definitely, Dana White, you can't blow this off for this guy. This guy's already done everything. Looking back to when he wanted to fight, when he was about to fight Islam Makhachev, it was a pity that this guy literally pulled out a day before the fight. Just because of back problem. It was so hard that after UFC sold the pay-per-view with him and Islam, they had to reschedule the final fight. That's why he had problem coming back to the title shot. And this is the way to put yourself down in the belt. This is the way to lay statement. This is the way to tell Dana White that I am the one that can be able to dethrone Ilia Topuria, which will be a very, very interesting fight. If you guys think, because I have a lot of people saying, oh, he's gonna wrestle Ilia Topuria. If you guys think that this fight is gonna be the same against Ilia Topuria, you guys will be on for a shocking night, because Ilia Topuria is a wrestler. But Ilia Topuria now he's just not taking wrestling. I don't know, he's not doing wrestling anymore because he has one of the most dangerous fists in the game. And Ilia Tupuria is not going to come and just want to drag takedown with Arman Tsarukyan. Ilia Tupuria is going to come for the knockout. He's going to come to knock him out like cold. And this is the fight I want to watch. Will Ilia Tupuria beat Arman Tsarukyan? I have no idea. I don't know. We'll never know until that fight is official. That is the fight to make. That is the fight Dana White has to make. There is no other way to show a statement win than what just Arman Tsarukyan did just tonight. Big kudos to Arman Tsarukyan. Like massive kudos to Arman Tsarukyan. And massive kudos to him and his team. Khamzat Chimaev in the scene just made it an icing on the cake. Big kudos to him. Dana White, if Ilia Tupuria is going to defend his title, it has to be Ilia versus Arman Tsarukyan. The co-main event, Garry and Belal Muhammad. I don't know, there should be a rule of this eye poke. Although the eye poke wasn't really that strong, but you have to be there to feel it, because when you watch the video, it might look like, oh, some parts if did eye poke him, and some parts he didn't eye poke him very well. Even if you look at the interview of Garry, he was saying that he didn't eye poke him, he was just avoiding him. But he did eye poke him, and there should be a rule, because it's not just if once he did it in that fight, he did it twice. Like, there should be a rule for this eye poke. It is getting really ridiculous now that every fighter now, we could just lose one of the most amazing fights due to an eye poke. We could easily see this fight. This fight was interesting. This fight is not one of these fights that they hold themselves all the time. This fight was really striking. And Garry, man, his takedown defense is his takedown defense is incredible. That guy is underrated, man. That and he can be able to move. He's tall, he's strong. He's working with the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu legend in Charles Oliveira, his team. If you look at him now, he's well sharpened. He has everything. Although there's still something about Garry that I don't really enjoy that much. But who am I to say that? Because he's a mixed martial art. He's a professional. But I'm just saying that he has that technique to knock somebody out. He has this head movement. He could get knocked out as well. But I think if he is a little bit brave enough more, he did that against his last fight against Shavkat. He did that against Carlos Prates. If he is brave enough, he could literally knock people out. But he's not. It's like he's scared of the fire. He's scared of that to and fro punching, you know? And that's what I see in him. I think he's one of the best in the world. And Islam Makhachev now, and now if you're UFC, you have a big problem here. Big problem there. There's literally nobody apart from Shavkat Rakhmonov, who was in the scene today, that could be able to dethrone Garry from not facing Islam Makhachev. And what a post speech by Garry. Call that Islam Makhachev. If Shavkat is not in the mix, if Shavkat is not ready, I think we already have a contender. Garry should be the next. Although, yes, Prates had a very beautiful knockout against Leon Edwards. But remember, Leon Edwards lost against Belal Muhammad, who Garry just defeated. So the way is bigger. So we could talk about Morales. Morales just defeated Sean Brady. But Sean Brady is not in the same number as Belal Muhammad. So that's an impressive win. I can't remember a fight where Garry had a knockout. Literally, I can't remember a fight. That's why I'm just it's a very interesting fighter. Beautiful to watch, but he just have this thing that he has to add to him, that knockout. He has to go for it. It's technical. He has to look for knockout. This decision win is not really entertaining the fans. Although you have to do everything for you to win. And I honestly, if you guys are underrating this guy, it's time for you to look very well, because this guy will be really hard for Islam to take down. That fight won't even end like JDM's fight. If Garry faces Islam Makhachev, there's one thing I'm going to let you know. He's not going to be really easy to take down, because Garry has improved a lot. His takedown. And if you look at his muscle, he looks bigger, he looks stronger, he looks sharper. He can move, he's smart. He could get knocked out today, but he did have landed some shots. Some really, really strong shots, but Belal Muhammad here is so big that no shots can take that guy down. Like, honestly, no shots. You have to throw stones to him. I think he should go to middleweight. That might be his weight division. Because at the moment, even if Belal Muhammad win this fight, he won't. I don't know if he's going to face his brother, his friend in Islam Makhachev for the belt. Because it is written that two of them, anyone that wins the fight is the one that's going to face Islam next. And there you go. You have your number one contender. Garry against Islam Makhachev for the welterweight title is not a bad idea. It's a great fight. Beautiful fight card. I mean, there were a lot of knockouts. If you guys literally didn't watch this card, I think you should watch them. I mean, it was really, really beautiful. But I'm just really focused on these two main events, which is really, really big. Kudos to Arman Tsarukyan team for getting the win. Ilya, Arman next, Garry, and Islam next. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about the video. Let me know if you agree with me. I'll be reading down in the comments below. Until next time, peace.